Hey, what's up, everybody? So I wanted to talk to you guys about this clip that I saw with comedian George Lopez against somebody in the audience. All I know is that when I watched it, I saw that he was arguing. He told a joke, and in the joke, he was talking about rules, I guess, in the Latino family. So in a Latino family, you can't marry black people, and well, these were his words. You can't marry black people, and you can't park in front of a Hispanic person's home. Those were the rules. And somebody in the audience, I guess, got upset, and they put their middle finger. I know which one is the middle finger, but I'm not going to do that. All right. So they put their middle finger on camera or in the air, and then George Lopez got upset, and then him and the other person were going back and forth or whatever. Well, mostly George, because George had the mic. I don't know. It was just crazy. But I wanted to address that video by saying that sometimes people are telling you something. Kids, gather around the campfire, because I need to repeat that. Sometimes people are trying to tell you something without telling you something. So make sure you listen. And I think what George Lopez was trying to say was that in some Hispanic families, there's still racism. In some Latino families, there's still racism, and that people aren't aware of that. Sometimes I think I should preface this by saying that I'm black and Hispanic. And sometimes, and not in my own family, thank God, but in other families, I can see racism that's blatant. Sometimes it's not even in a family. Sometimes it's just going to a regular thing like a bodega, grocery store, for my friends that don't know what a bodega is. I'm from New York, so I should say that, because I think everybody calls it a bodega here, except if you're not from here. But that's neither here nor there. That's a rant, whatever. That's a sidetrack situation. But yeah, but you see racism everywhere you go, in different capacities. For example, right? I'm gonna, for the sake of the story, I'm gonna give my friend the name of Ray. Ray and I, we were good friends growing up. We went to like the same church together. We talked about everything. We talked about just our life and where we wanted to be. We talked about girls. And one time I remember specifically him telling me that his mom said he was not allowed to date a black girl. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I never heard of something like that before. But I was like, explain, tell me more. And then he was like, well, yeah, she said I could bring anybody home except like, well, he didn't say, he said he could bring anybody home except if they were, he was Dominican, but he said he couldn't bring them if they were Dominican, Puerto Rican, black, or any kind of Caribbean. And I was like, what? I never heard of that before. But I don't know. And then another friend of mine, we'll call her Maria. For the sake of the story, we're going to call her Maria. And Maria was a good friend of mine. And her mom was really cool. And she would let us go to her house and everything like that. But one day Maria told us, and she was Puerto Rican, she said, my mom said that she's not allowed to date a black guy. And I was like, wow, I never heard these things before. Like, I never heard, I don't know. But, and now this, actually, like right now, she's actually married to a guy that's half black and half Hispanic or whatever. And I don't know. But what I thought about that story makes me see, like, that people are changing and people don't necessarily have to keep up with traditions or whatever, but it's still alive and well. And so I think what George was trying to do is he's trying to let you guys know what is going on behind the scenes. It's not every Hispanic home. And as a comedian, I think that he was just trying to bring light to a situation, light and laughter to a situation. And me as a comedian myself, I understand it. And I feel like comedians with some sort of boundary should be able to say whatever they got to say, because they're the last people speaking the truth. If you don't want to hear the truth, I don't think you should go to a comedy show. Yeah, I feel like you don't have to be vulgar at a comedy show, but like, they're there to say things. And if you don't agree with it, then don't go to the person's show anymore. That's how you say, don't follow them, don't do whatever, like, don't show them support. But like, if you're going to go there and be mad, like, it has to be because of a really good reason. But it is what it is. I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. Like, oh, speaking, one more last story of like, just in terms of like racism, like that black people don't really know about, is I posted this on Facebook. Like, when you get the Latino price break, what I mean by that is, like, for example, I had written that moment when you hop in a cab and they bless you with the Hispanic price. All right. So if you, like me, right? Sometimes I'll be in a cab and the person driving will be Hispanic. And then let's say, for instance, I ask them, oh, how much does it cost to take me from here to there? They'll give me this price. All right. Somewhere in the middle of that ride, I'm going to throw in a little Spanish. I'm going to be like, oh, or my mom's going to call me and be like, hola, mamá, ¿cómo tú estás? ¿Cómo está todo? And then then they turn around, they'll be like, you speak Spanish? I'll be like, yeah, just a little bit. They'd be like, you know what, that price, ese precio que yo te di, Lo vamos a cambiar. And I'll be leaving out of there with a discount. But that's something that I know doesn't happen to everybody, and I feel bad. And I hope I don't lose my discount for putting it out in this video. But it is what it is. Just to let people know that things are a little bit. It's like this sometimes. There's really no balance when it comes to all of that. But people can just be aware. I think that's part of the reason why I think Uber is good, because it kind of eliminates all of that. But shout out to the cab drivers. Shout out to the Bronx. And not to say that people are bad, or just there's so many things that happen that shape the way that people think about things, the way they think about people. But what I've realized is that when you generalize, when you make everybody the same thing, you're going to always be wrong, because there's different variations of everything. Oh my God, there's another video that I want to talk about in terms of that, and it has to do with Muslim people. Dang, I wish I could talk about it right now, but I'll leave that, and I'll talk about it in another video. Guys, let me know what you guys think, and yeah, comment, subscribe, all that other good stuff. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Over and out.